This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the best in NMRO mud racing. Today, from the Allen County Fairgrounds in Lima, Ohio, it's the four-wheel Jamboree Spring Nationals. After heavy early morning rains, the fans here at the Allen County Fairgrounds in Lima, Ohio are bathed in sunshine. It's a bit windy and very humid, but these engines and the mud racers love the moisture in the air. In fact, it seems like we always have intense competition here at Lima. We've had some violent crashes, torn up a lot of iron over the years, and Lima has replaced Bloomsburg as the Lady in Black on the schedule. Here with more on that story is Army Armstrong.
The shutdown area, Gary, is taking the place of the infamous Bloomsburg Wall for providing action in the sport of mud racing like we've never seen before. If Sir Isaac Newton were alive today, we've proven his theory a 2,100-pound car cannot fly. Why do these cars have a tendency to act the way they do at Lima, Ohio? It's real simple. These guys are coming outdoors now. They spent the winter months indoors running on the shorter tracks where they have an automatic kill system. That's not the case here. Here, you leg the motor, you give it all it's got, you go 180 feet, and then the driver is responsible for doing everything else. The driver really has his hands full here. And talking to the drivers, we asked them to be very honest with us. All the drivers said the same thing. Really, if you blink your eye, it's over at Lima.
All right, there's a good look at starter George Cash as Gary OSTEEN rolls into the lane. He's driving the Dirty Bird out of Daytona Beach, Florida. He'll be taking on Chris Cain. Notice the different body styles. Now, earlier, Army took a look at some of the fiberglass we'll be seeing in today's competition.
I love the diversity of mud racing. When I talk about diversity, I'm talking about the different body styles. No matter what kind of engine you're running, everybody's got their own preference of body style. Notice the T over my shoulder? That's for the drivers who like the open type concept. They don't want a roof over them. But the Little Deuce Coupe next to him is on the other side of the slate. That gives the guy a little bit more protection, psychologically, I guess. But we're going to pan on over and show you some of the late model stuff, too. So no matter what type of vehicle you like, there's a class you can race it in mud racing. And it looks like it's going to be Class 5 today.
Here's a guy that's come a long way to compete out of Daytona Beach, Florida, Gary OSTEEN and the Dirty Bird.
Sitting in the other lane, as OSTEEN relies on Ford 4 horsepower, the new kid on the block, Chris Cain, with a beautiful candy apple prepared 32 Ford Vicky out of Manassas, Virginia, with some of that outlaw horsepower. Our first time to see this kid. Let's see what he's going to do when he pairs up against the old pro out of Daytona Beach, Florida, Gary.
Now remember, they're going against the clock and not against each other as they stage at OSTEEN, the far lane, Cain, the near lane. This is Class 5 competition. Good looking Chris there in the cockpit. Well, Cain had a great hole shot, and he takes the measure on the clock at 2.79. 2.79, and OSTEEN's a 3.63, so he won't be too happy with that run.
Now, I'll tell you what, keep in mind, a 3-second run is about the bump spot. Anything quicker than that is a good run, and a 2.79 right out of the box is awfully good for the kid out of Manassas, Virginia.
You can see how messy that shutdown area is. Let's go down trackside and talk with Chris.
Chris, it looked like you were on the right side of the track a little bit. Is there any reason for that, or did the car just kind of wander over there?
That's the way it wanted to go. I just kind of went with it.
They kind of have a mind of their own once you leave that line, don't they?
Yeah, you got to kind of steer it into it, so we did the best we could.
The mud racing continues here in Lima. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Allen County Fairgrounds here in Lima, Ohio, where there is some track surface grooming going on right now. And earlier, Army took a look at track conditions.
Gary, there has been a change in the track at Lima. We're going to try to explain it to you. Number one, the track is still the same length. It's still the same width, side by side. But the depth of the track is where the difference is. Really, you're only looking at about 6 to 8 inches of mud right now. And it's real gooey mud. The starting line looks good. It looks like it'll hold the horsepower. But the big story is on the other end of the track. These guys are going to really be able to get up and zing it out the other end. So not as much mud connotates out to much faster runs.
Are you wearing boots down there, Army?
Simpson boots, Gary.
Stressed out. Coming up next, there is Roger Sherwood, and he goes up against Al STEBBINS. Rapid Transit.
STEBBINS out of Florida. We've had a chance to see him before. Sherwood's a new guy to us. We're kind of keeping an eye on both of them, liking that 23 Ford body style we talked about earlier.
Time to beat 2.79, turned in by Raising Cain, Chris Cain.
Gary, the trick is getting on top of the mud, skipping across of it. That's exactly what STEBBINS did.
Roger Sherwood has a 3:18 ET, but coming up a time that will be very difficult to beat today, a 2:73 for Al STEBBINS in rapid transit. Great crowd on hand here in Lima, Ohio, as we show you the replay near lane. Here's the rapid transit, and he takes it out of there at 2:73, and here's Army.
The number's 2769. You got to be tickled to death with that.
I think it'll hold. It's a slick track, Army. We detuned the car where it hooked because it was real wet earlier today, and the other guys, the other class, they were having fits with the track. We detuned the car. I hope it'll hold.
Yeah, once again, that number was a 2:73 as we take a look at the Bandit. This is Tony Farrell making his way to the starting line, and earlier, Army caught up with a guy who's taken his share of lumps here in Lima, Ohio.
Well, the blue ribbon is what all racers like to go out of here with, the checker flag or blue ribbon, but this guy's taken the blues with him for the past 2 years. Tony, not your favorite track to race at, I don't believe.
No, this ain't. This is more like a jinx track to me. You know, last couple years, we went out here, parts tore up. Last year, we put it on stop. You know what they say, third time's a charm. I hope this year we bring home the money.
Let's find out what kind of blue he takes out of here, the blue ribbon, or if the old blues is going to follow him one more time. Back to you, Gary.
Well, he does not want to leave here black and blue, that's for sure, as he takes on Mel Brown. Mel Brown, red heat, another rear engine configured car.
Downtown Brown. Everybody's still trying to figure this rear engine concept out. Melvin's been around the sport a long time. Everybody's watching as he progresses with this car.
And Tony Farrell just wants to put that race car back on the trailer with all four wheels hanging on it.
That would be a major accomplishment for him. Now just kick back and listen to this.
Well, is the monkey off his back? Maybe not. He's right side up, but obviously a mechanical problem for Tony Farrell.
Looks like a blown head gasket, Gary.
So Farrell at a 3:10 will have to take it home and then nurse that one as we take a look at Dan Vukovic and Bone Digger taking on Garland Walls in the Gambler. But first, let's talk with Tony Farrell. Here's Army.
Well, this tells the story right here, an indication of a lost cylinder, but you went through on two wheels, so it was better than last year, but not as good as you wanted it to be.
Yeah, I'd say we probably just burned a piston, but at least we kept the shiny side up this year, so I can't really complain.